Hi, today we're in Anza-Borrego Desert State Park. We're at Creek Campground. Beautiful sunrise up here. This is day 11 of our hiking trip around the park. It's April 6th. This here is called Fish Creek. Look at that. No creek, no fish. And out here, we hiked yesterday to the Wind Caves, which is pretty cool. You should check it out if you're ever here. And today we're going to hike down here around the bend to the Elephant Tree Trail. Check out the giant Tesote elephant. How about that? So please join me. Thanks. All right, so we're headed to Elephant Trees area. This is the road to Elephant Tree Trail. Our little Torote way out there. Up here is Ocotillo Wells. This is Split Mountain Road. It's all asphalt, so it's pretty easy to get to. And then a little information sign up here. And this road here takes a couple miles inland. And I think you need at least a high clearance. I've got my Ford Escape here. So this is the road. It's pretty sandy, a little bit bumpy, but it's not that hard. Lots of creosote bushes, ambrosia mimosas, little cheese bush here. Lots of our little cholla cacti, and these beautiful, beautiful mountains in this little bumpy road. So here we go. It gets pretty rocky and bumpy, so you're gonna need high clearance on these guys up the hill, so don't bring your Prius. Wow, this place is great. So at the top of the little dirt rocky road, little parking spot, way up here is the trailhead to Elephant Tree Trail. But I gotta show you this over here. Just amazing little guy. This is a barrel cactus, a California barrel cactus. Barrel cactus cylindriceus. Look at that beautiful little guy. He's about 18 inches tall. Always leans to the southwest. Beautiful, beautiful spines. Look at that. So we got a central spine that comes out here out of each aerial. He bends a little bit down. See that? The way it comes out and just kind of bends. Not quite a fish hook. Just bends a little bit. And he's got all these lateral spines going all around him. Keep him nice and cool and shaded. The flowers are coming in. Just beautiful. Wow. Here we have our creosote bush, Valerian tridentata. Lots of cool plants and shrubs. This is a silver cholla, Slindopuntia echinocarpa. Look at that. It's starting to bloom here. Right there. Little flowers coming in. Wow. This guy here is a cat claw, Senegalia gregii. It's a fabaceae. He's got these little cat claw thorns there. See that? Look like little cat claws. Wow. He's got leaves on him. They never have leaves when I see them in the summertime. But they'll get leaves out here just in spring for a short time. And he'll flower. He's a fabaceae, so he'll have little legume pods coming from him too. Wow. So we're going to head up the trail. We'll show you the rest of what this park has to offer. Here's our creosote bush, and this is a beautiful Ocotillo. Fuchsia splendens. Look at that. Great flowers coming up on this guy. Holy smokes. That looks wonderful. Here's the beginning of Elephant Trees Trail. But over here is a beautiful bush. This is an indigo bush. Sorothamnus shottii. He'll give beautiful little indigo flowers on him. Maybe not today though. He's got these beautiful grayish glauca pretty leaves here. Look at that. So they alternate in little fascicles up the stem. Wow. There's lots of cool stuff up here to see. This guy here is called Spanish needle or Spanish needles. Palafoxia arida or arida. Either way is fine. Little bundle, little Asteraceae here. Little bundle of flowers on top. Protected by these little filaries kind of growing out of the ground. So Elephant Tree Trail, you go online, you can pick up a little brochure here. It's got little stops. It's like number 9, the elephant tree. But up here we have stops 1, 2, 3, 4. Kind of walk you through the trail. I'm going to show you lots more cool stuff. Stop number 1, welcome to Elephant Tree Trail. And each of the plants here you meet along this trail is a survivor. Like this guy, Laria tridentata. He's our creosote bush. He's starting to flower here. Look at that, pretty flowers. Even going to seed. Little fluffy pappus-like seeds that'll blow away in the wind. Wow. This guy is the medicine cabinet for the Native Americans. It says between the little teas you can make out of the leaves and the bark, little crunchy, mushy solutions, you can cure almost anything that penicillin will cure today. Look at that. This guy here, he's a sacred datura, or western Jimson weed. He's, wow, grows out here. It's also called a hoary thorn apple. Anyway, little sacred datura. All right. This guy here, he's beautiful. One of my favorite little bushes. This is desert lavender. He's got a little bee on him. He's Candia emorii. Look at the beautiful, fluffy lavender flowers here. Absolutely gorgeous. Wow. This guy here's our cat claw. See, he's got little thorns on him. Look like cat claws. Here we go. This guy here, he's a cheese bush. Ambrosia salsola. And ambrosia means food of the gods, and salsola means salty. So you take the little leaves and the branches and you crunch them up, and it smells like cheese. This guy here, he's a lot bigger. Look at that. Little cheese bush here. See that? Just amazing. Wow. All over the place. This is great. Wow, here's another lavender. Unbelievable. Look at that. Wow. Candia emorii. Just so soft. Isn't that beautiful? All right, we'll continue up the trail this way to stop number 2. Here we have another indigo bush. Just gorgeous. He's got little flowers on him. See that guy right there? Tiny little flowers. He's going to seed. Wow, this is a Sorothamnus shaddii. He looks like a smoke tree, which is a sister Sorothamnus spinosus. We'll find a smoke tree up the hill here. This is stop number 2. We got a cat claw. Wow, Senegalia greggii. He used to be called Acacia greggii. He's a Fabaceae. He'll get little legume pods. He's got these little cat claws right there, and they'll grab you. It's called a wait a minute bush because if you get snagged by him, you gotta yell to your friends, hey, wait a minute, I'm stuck in a cat claw. Here we have a little sacred datura, Jimson weed growing down here, called a little thorn apple, see that? And he's not doing so well. He's missing all his leaves because he has a parasite growing on him. Look at that guy. This is desert mistletoe growing on him. Well, the desert mistletoe, you see it's all dark and stuff? Anyway, the desert mistletoe looks like it's killed this poor little cat claw and moved on to better things. We'll find a better mistletoe later on up the trail here. This little guy, he's a brown-eyed evening primrose. See that? Little brown eye right in the middle, 4 little pretty petals, little reproductive parts sticking out there. And he's a evening primrose, but he likes to stay open in the daytime. A lot of other primroses like to close up in the daytime, just open in the morning. He's got this little rosette of leaves down here, little fuzzy stem, little purple, fleshy, herbaceous, to a pretty little flower. This is a little guy. I think a lot bigger than this. This little guy here, he's called a cryptantha, popcorn flower. See, look at that. Little barrage kind of peels over there like a little caterpillar, a little scorpion tail. Right there, Cratantha. This is false mustard, so he's not a real mustard, but he looks like a mustard. Look at that. Pretty little petals, little stamen anther, pollen sticking out there. He's got these tiny little orange dots at the base of his petal. See that? Wow. He starts out with a rosette down here of leaves that have disappeared. He thins out, super herbaceous. He's got these tiny leaves left over, green stem, up to the top, to the pretty flowers. Up here we have stop number 3. What can this be? This is the oldest living plant. Well, not this one, but this genus and species is. Wow, this is our creosote bush, Laria tridentata. So these guys will grow by rhizomes. They'll stick out a rhizome and grow a plant, a rhizome and grow a plant, and eventually the middle plant will die. And you get this big ring called a creosote ring, and that ring can be up to 11,000 years old, which is the oldest living one out in Sonoran Desert. Wow. He's got these pretty flowers here, right? And he's got little seed pods coming in. Little seeds there, fluffy guy. Sometimes you see it's called a creosote gall on these guys. Right here. It's called a creosote gall, caused by a little bug called a creosote midge. He gets in there, and a creosote as a defense mechanism forms a little callus or blister around it and fights off the little contaminated critters. Here's another one here. So eventually this creosote gall will just fall off like that onto the ground. Wow. That was stop number 3, and we're headed up here to stop number 4. Wow, here's another cat claw. This guy's huge. Wow, he's got a little mistletoe on him too. Hey, follow the trail up here. Just follow the little arrows. Those muddy, sandy, silty trail. Another cheese bush here. Check that out. Ambrosia salsola. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful cheese on our guys here. Wow. Lots of cool shrubs. All right, I think stop 4 is up here somewhere. Here we have another indigo bush. See, it kind of looks like a smoke tree. Over here, look at this guy. Another California barrel cactus. Feral cactus, Slenderceus. Look at that, it's got these beautiful flowers. So the flowers like to head out mostly on the southwest side of this cactus. What he does, he grows faster on the shadowy side and slower on the sunny side. So he always leans to the southwest. So if you're lost out here in the desert, you can at least know your directions, where to go. This guy here, wow, looks like desert tea. He's an ephedra. That's where you get like norepinephrine, right? Kind of helps your headache. So you boil this guy in a tea, and then helps get rid of your headache. Here's the ocotillo. Fell down on the ground. Another indigo here. Another creosote here. All over the place. Here we have some more of our western jimson weed. But up here, check out this guy. He's a root parasite. It's called a ratney. Chromaria erecta. Look at this guy. He's all a bunch of sticks, all intermingled. At the very end of his stems, it looks like he's got a spine, but it's really just the end of the stem. All pointy like that. He's got these pretty little purple flowers here. 5 little petals. Little hooked little flag down there. They call it like a green flag. Wow, with little anthers coming up. This is called a Chromaria erecta, a ratney. But over here, stop number 4, we'll get to. Here's a beautiful cheese bush right here. step number 4. What is supposed to be here? All right. Number 4 says here we're going to find a desert lavender. But I don't see a desert lavender here. There used to be one here. But we have one over here. I guess we have to backtrack a little bit on our trail. Look at this guy. Desert lavender. Candia emorii. I love this plant. Look at that. Beautiful. So the little book here says, in dry times, the lavender leaves are small, thick, and hairy. In wet times, they have thin leaves with few hairs. Let's take a look here at these little leaves. Well, you know what? The little leaves here, they look like they're big, thick, and hairy. See that? I don't think they're thin and not hairy. So we've had a lot of winter rains, but if you look at our soil here, see, it's all sandy. I don't think he's had a lot of moisture, but absolutely beautiful. Look at that bee. The bees just love this desert lavender. Wow. Candia emorii. Fantastic. Okay, up the trail for more exciting plants and adventures. Here we have some black harvester ants working in there. Check them out. Just follow the trail. Wow. And here's the trail here. Got to go this way. And all this little stuff growing on the ground here, just called sand mat, or just spurge. Some people call it a rattlesnake weed, but rattlesnake weed is kind of a catch-all for all these little critters that grow on the ground here. See that? Most of the time they're a euphorbia, and they got little white, little sappy stuff in the stems, and then you put that on your mosquito bite. This is a rock daisy coming out of the sand here. Okay, he's a little aged. He's going to seed, so I'll find a better one up the trail. But he comes out of the sand just like that. Bunch of little stems and stalks coming up, little flower heads. So we're headed to checkpoint number 5 on our trail. This guy here and up here and here, it's what's left of our brittle bush, Anza-Borrego farinosa. He's an Asteraceae. He used to bloom out here with these great daisy-like ray florets, little disc flowers. He's kind of dried up right now. He's called a brittle bush because his old stems just break off. See that? They're just super brittle. That's why he's called a brittle bush. But he's not flowering right now. This guy here is a connactus. Look at that. Also called a pincushion. Little connactus flowers there. Coming out, big bundle right there. Flowers. There's different species of this guy up here. All right, this might be a Stevioides. Little connactus Stevioides, I think. But he might be a different guy. It's called a pincushion because it looks like a little pincushion. All right. Ah, here's another indigo. Here we got stop number 5. Right here. Look at that. Is it alive? Well, this is a indigo bush. Wow. He's Sorothamnus shadii. He kind of looks like a smoke tree.